Everybody, welcome to the Trent Hills Market Update. We are going to just kind of look at what 2025 looked like, the numbers that we saw and the sales that we seen happen over the course of the year. And then I'm going to give you my opinion on what 2026 is going to look like. Whether I'm right or wrong, I don't know. I guess we'll be talking about that in a year's time. And just some preparation tips for anyone who is looking to buy this year, sell this year. Just going to give you a little bit of information on how you can set yourself up for success there. So let's dive into what we saw for December of 2025, which our numbers. I just want to make sure that you can see this. Okay, yeah. The numbers that we can see here, we had 12 sales happen in December in Trent Hills specifically. The average price was $567,908. We had 16 new listings. We have 90 active listings. The average sale to list price ratio is 97%. That means that of the homes that sold, they sold for around on an average of 90%, 97% of what they were asking. That is a solid number. That is a positive number. That means that most people who sold their houses in December sold them for quite close to what they were asking. And the average days on market was 45. This also is a positive thing. There are other communities that have higher numbers than that have higher days on market, that have lower sale price to list price ratios, that kind of thing. So when we look at the December numbers as a whole, we can actually calculate the months of inventory. And I think we've talked about this before, but if you're brand new here, basically what you do is you take the number of active listings, which is 90, and we divide it by how many sales happened in December, which is 12. So you basically just do that basic math. 90 divided by 12 equals 7.5. That 7.5 tells us that it would take us 7.5 months to completely get rid of and sell off the inventory that we currently have for sale, which tells us that this is a buyer's market. This is essentially saying that the buyers have leverage in this market because there are so many homes to choose from. They can pick and choose, and they have an opportunity to try and negotiate the price and so on and so forth. If it were a seller's market, it would mean that there are very few homes for sale and a lot more buyers, which then drives the prices of the homes up. And then let's just quickly look at 2025 as a whole for Trent Hills. So we saw in Trent Hills 232 sales, which is healthy. You can see here there's a bit of a breakdown. So condo townhouses, there were 3. Attached row townhouse style homes, there were 5, and the rest were detached homes. We look over to the average price. So for the overall 2025, our average price here in Trent Hills is $605,000. We had 602 listings come up. But as you can see, we only sold 232 of those. So there were many unsuccessful sales. Some of them may still be for sale. As we can see, we currently have 90 active listings. So what that tells us is there were a lot of people that maybe tried to sell their house last year and were not successful. Many I saw as I was kind of just navigating and looking at all of the solds and the listings. A lot of people tried to put their house on the market probably at a higher price than what was reasonable, and they were unsuccessful and ended up taking that listing off of the market, and they did not return back to the market to sell at maybe a more reasonable price. So, and then when we look at the average sale to list price ratio, again, this is a very healthy number in terms of it's 97%. So of the 232 homes that sold, 97% of, or not 97% of them, but they sold for 97% of what they were asking for. So very close to what they were listed at. And so the ones that didn't sell, it is very likely that they were well above what was reasonable to ask, and therefore they were unsuccessful in selling. And then the average days on market is 57 for all of 2025. So, and that's actually not so bad. So that's less than 2 months that it takes you to sell your home in Trent Hills if you're priced at the right price. If you're reasonably priced, it should take you no more than essentially 60 days to sell. And you have to have the right realtor with the right marketing skills and the right strategy and all of that. That all comes into play as well, of course. But these are the averages that we basically saw for 2025. Now, what do I think 2026 is going to look like? I think that people are starting to come to terms with what their house is actually worth. I think we're slowly phasing out of the COVID pricing mindset. And people are starting to come to terms with, okay, this COVID thing, these COVID prices, I am not going to get what I could have gotten 5-6 years ago. Now I'm ready to sit down and listen to the realtor and see what they have to say about what my home could potentially be worth in this market today. And to be honest, that's all you can do. You can only look at comparables within like the last 3 to 6 months is a stretch. 3 months is ideal for you to be looking at other homes that have sold that are similar to yours, that kind of have set the benchmark for you to price your home properly. Now, another thing that also comes into play when listing your home is the fact that you have to also be aware and conscious of the current properties for sale on the market that are like your home. This is the most valuable information that you can actually have while you're preparing to price your home for the market. I would highly recommend that you and your realtor go and take a look at the houses that are considered your competition, and see how your home shapes up to their home and how they compare. And you can also look at their days on market. And so if there's a house very similar to yours that's been on the market for 90 days, you have a very high probability that your home should probably be listed for less than theirs, because obviously this house in itself is probably listed too high. If they've been on the market for 90 days, and we know that even in December, the average days on market was 45. For all of 2025, the average days on market was 57. So if you've been on the market for more than 60 days in Trent Hills, chances are you are going to have to make an adjustment to your price or be willing to negotiate with a buyer in order to sell your home, essentially. And so, yeah, so that's kind of what you're going to have to do. Come to terms with what your home is worth right now. And if you need to sell, then let's come up with a strategy and be able to present your home in the absolute best light possible to get you the most money for your home. There's lots of different things that you can do to your home, little things that are inexpensive. Some things, of course, there's always expensive things that you can do and invest in your home to make it more attractive and those kinds of things. But if you just do what your realtor tells you to do, chances are the things that they're telling you to do are going to help you, not hurt you. And when they give you a price to kind of give you a foundation to price your home at, if your price in your mind is way above that, you need to analyze whether it's going to be worth, or whether you need to come down and kind of negotiate on what you think is the best list price for your home. Because if you list your home for way above what it's worth and you have to make these incremental price adjustments, it does not look good on the market for you. There is a history attached to your home. And so if you are making these little adjustments, and when I list a house and we have to make an adjustment, my goal is to always only have to do one adjustment one strategic adjustment to be able to get to the place where we're going to get offers, rather than, some people, they'll relist their home at the same price, which I think is insane. It's not a good strategy. Even even if it's 10,000 less, it makes so much more sense to go back on the market at a new price, so everything is kind of fresh. Um, so it's important to make sure that you're being strategic with that. I always give the banana analogy. When you first go on the market, you are the nice green banana and you slowly ripen, and people are grabbing them off the shelf because they like those perfect bananas that are perfectly priced, those houses that are perfectly priced. And then very quickly it can turn into, 60 days, 80 days, 90 days, 100 days, and then you start to be that rotten banana. And then the only people that are looking for rotten bananas are people that are making banana bread. And those are people that are looking for a deal, that are investors that, you don't want to be in that position essentially when you are selling your house. You want to go out of the gate strong, at a good price, presented really well to sell within, that that marginal 60 days or whatever timeline that you have set. But if your timeline is long and you don't care how long it takes, you should care how long it takes, because it does not look good on your home. Like I said, there's a history attached to it. And when you're making tiny little adjustments, you're not hitting a new bracket of buyers. You're just hitting the same buyers. You actually need to actually make a significant enough change to reach brand new, fresh buyers. So that's my little seller rant for you. For in terms of buyers, if you are looking to buy this year, obviously now is a great time to buy. Things are on sale and you have an opportunity to negotiate price because there is so much inventory out there to choose from. So that is going to work in your favor. Now, if you're a first time home buyer, you've never bought a house before, I highly, highly recommend that you open up an FHSA, a first home savings account. This is a government account that you can open up. You can open up at your branch. You can contact me. I can help you with this. But it really is going to help you for tax purposes. You can save $8,000. You can essentially contribute $8,000 a year, year after year, up to $40,000. And then all of the growth that you experience within that investment is tax-free. Not to mention your investment is also tax-free. And if you are a couple buying your first house together, you can each take advantage of this. So that is something that you need to make sure you consider. If you go to fhsame.ca, there's lots more information on the FHSA accounts, and you can educate yourself on that sort of thing. Another really important element for buyers this year and all the years to come is making sure that you have met with the bank, met with a broker, and you have a true approval in place. Not these generated numbers. Yes, you plug in your income and what you're, and then it tells you how much you can afford. That is not a pre-approval. The pre-approval I am talking about is after you have sent T4 slips, pay stubs, all of the things that the bank or your broker asks for. Once they take that information from you, they do your calculations, then then they will tell you, this is how much you can afford. This is how much the bank or whoever is going to be willing to give you to purchase a home for. It's like going to the airport without your passport. If you go to the airport without your passport, you are not flying on any plane. You are not going anywhere. You may be able to walk in the front door, but you're not going to be successful in being able to do anything. So, not even through security. And so that is a great analogy for you to keep in mind. I have a lot of buyers that are calling me to start looking at houses, and the first thing I ask is, do you have a pre-approval in place with a bank or a broker? And they're like, well, no, we're pretty sure we know what we can afford, but we're just starting to kind of look now. That's a hard stop for me. You need to have this stuff in place before you start looking at houses. It just does not make sense. It's a waste of your time. It's a waste of the realtor's time. It's a waste of the seller's time when they're fretting over this showing and having to clean the house and stress about it when you don't even actually for sure know if you can afford the house that you're looking at. So that is a non-negotiable for me when it comes to house hunting, is you have to have that pre-approval in place. If you're like, I have no idea where I'm supposed to go to get this pre-approval, you can go to your bank, you can go to a broker. If you need guidance and you need help with this, please reach out to me. I have lots of contacts. I have contacts at every bank, and I also have contacts for brokers. So please feel free to reach out to me so I can help you get on the path to being buy ready. Now I'm going to do a selfless plug here. I am doing an event this Thursday in Campbellford at the Legion. Doors open at 5:30. Event starts at 6 o'clock sharp. This is going to be a buy ready event. We are just talking about how to get prepared to be in a position to be able to buy a house. So we have a financial advisor, a home inspector, a mortgage broker, and myself going to be there educating you, answering questions that you might have about the buying process. We are here to help you get set up for success. We want to see you not have a super stressful experience. That is why the preparation stage is so important. And if you are a parent, and I have heard this time and time again, my kids are never going to be able to buy a house. They're never going to be able to buy a house in this economy. They'll never be able to do anything. I am so afraid for my children. This kind of event is what sheds light on the true opportunity that you have as a parent to help guide your children to home ownership. It's possible. It 100% is possible. My 13-year-old started a business last year, and he is already starting to save and invest money. We've done calculations, and he should be very well off at the age of even just a young 25 to be able to have a good, huge, in fact, lump sum of money to be able to either put down on a house or just continue investing or whatever. But he'll be in a position to, if he's smart and goes by what he's being educated on, he should be in a good financial position. And it's up to us as parents to make sure that our children have this education. And I did not have this education growing up. My parents did not teach me a single thing about money, money management, saving, nothing. And it's really, really been on my heart to ensure that my kids, at very minimum, understand, know how to manage, know how to deal with money in a positive way, and not have that negative connection to money like I have had my whole life. So if you're a parent, you may already be a homeowner. That's cool. If you want to come and just learn these things, there wasn't an FHSA years ago. So that's brand new. If you didn't know that, you will be able to get educated on what an FHSA is and help your child get set up with an FHSA. If your child just turned 18 and there is no way in heck that they're going to be buying a house in the next year or two, that's perfect. Getting an FHSA set up now is prime, because the investment that they put into that FHSA has time to grow. That's free money by the time they're ready. That tax-free investment, or that tax-free money that they have available to them, that's only going to help them. That's not going to hurt them in any way. So, and then we're going to have, I think I already mentioned, a home inspector coming through to explain the benefits of having a home inspection done. I'm going to have one of the mortgage brokers that I work with who can help kind of set the stage for what is expected. What do I need from you as a mortgage broker when you're going through this pre-approval process? What does that look like? And what do I need from you? So when a mortgage broker or a bank is asking for pay stubs and T4s, that is all standard. So some people may be like, why do you need all this information? It's because it's part of the process. But if you have this education now, then it won't come as a surprise when you're getting ready to buy. And so that's what that is. So if you actually go to eventswithme.ca, that will take you over to the RSVP page for the event. And I know it's in like 2 days. So if you are watching this after January 29th, reach out to me. I will probably have all of the resources and everything from that event available to you if you want it. And we will be doing more events as the year goes on. I'll be doing live trainings online, updates like this to help the community understand and try to navigate this real estate thing with ease and with confidence. It's really, really important that you know, when you're investing in one of the biggest investments you're probably going to buy in your lifetime, you want to have the right person guiding you. You want to have a person who actually cares about the future. You don't want a realtor just helping you buy a house that's a piece of junk, and then like 2 years from now you're thinking, why on earth did I, listen to that realtor to convince me to buy this house or whatever. Um, I am your trusted resource. When it comes to real estate, I have 12 years of experience, almost 12 years. My heart is fully in it. I would never do or stray anyone in a direction that is not going to benefit you and your goals. So, anyways, my information is always going to be below. If you want to reach me, contact me, text, call, whatever, find me on social media, whatever your potion is, you can reach me in that sense. But subscribe so you can get more videos like this. Like this video. If you have questions, comment below and I will answer them. But I'll see you next month with another update for Trent Hills.